In today's video, I'm gonna show you how to go from this to this and how I get my lower abs to really pop. And then you can decide if you wanna do it too. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com, and I'm here in the ProPhysique studio here in Tampa, Florida, and I want to discuss with you how to get rid of that last little bit of stubborn lower abdomen fat to really show off those six-pack abs. I want to talk a little bit about the training, about the nutrition, about the cardio, and perhaps we'll talk a little bit about some of the sacrifices you have to make to reach that level of conditioning. So a little bit about myself. I'm a coach. I do this for a living, but I'll try to put some pictures up here. I've also gone through this process many times. You know, the first time I ever dieted down was 2008, and I've done it many times since, the last time being 2018. So first things first, here are some pictures to show you that I go through this process, but I also want you to realize while I do maintain a fairly lean physique, I do not walk around with a lower shredded ab physique all the time, right? I'll maintain it for a few months at a time. I'll do some competitions, some photo shoots, and that's something you got to realize. I don't know if everyone realizes that when you see the pictures of somebody with shredded abs, that might be from months ago or years ago, right? So understanding that just the realism of being in shape is that you can maintain a very nice physique, but to be that lean for some people is going to mean a lot of dedication year round. You're not gonna probably be able to be off plan too frequently, right? And you might have things like low energy be an issue. But let's get into, just first of all, the question from today, which comes from right here on my Instagram direct message. So thank you guys for continuing to send me great questions. And I wanna read it and then we're gonna answer it. I'm 41 and right now weigh in at 167.6. I was 197.6 in January. Trying to find a way to get rid of lower belly fat and get my abs to pop up. I work out 4 to 5 days a week and walk 2 times a week. I track my calories. My intake is 2,000 calories right now. My workouts are all done with resistance bands, etc. I'm not looking to get stage fit, but athletic fit. Not sure if I'm missing something. My macros are 170 protein, 50 to 55 fat, the rest is carbs. So first things first, I want to say congratulations on 30 pounds of fat loss. I know that is quite the accomplishment, especially since you've done it over the course of several months. That really shows that you've been consistent for a long period of time, and that's absolutely what it takes to reach your absolute goal. Now, you said something pretty powerful here. You want to have a physique that does not look like a competitor physique, but I promise you, if you get that lean, that your lower abdomen is shredded, you're going to be competition lean, and here's why. Have you guys heard me say that body fat comes off in a pattern? And if you don't understand what I mean by a pattern, I want you to picture a paper towel roll, right? So you've got a roll of paper towels, and as you pull off a paper towel, you're basically pulling body fat off. Well, the body fat at the end of that paper towel roll would be the body fat that you're worried about, lower abdomen, lower back. Unfortunately, the body fat is stored so evenly over our bodies, you have to unravel that entire paper towel roll to get there. And when you've lost 30 pounds of body fat, you've obviously noticed that things have come off your waist, your shoulders, your chest, your back, everywhere. Glutes, quads, everywhere. You're probably looking leaner everywhere. But now that you've reached this position where you can actually start to see the shape of your abs, perhaps even the top of them, you think the next logical thing to happen is that your lower abs are gonna show, but that's not. What's gonna happen is now you're gonna start to get even leaner in your shoulders, even leaner in your face, even leaner in your chest, your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads, all the body parts that you might not even be paying attention to if you're not looking at the back. Fat loss for men happens a lot in the back, lower back, upper glutes, okay? This body fat has to come off before it gets to the fun stuff in the abs. And for you, that might mean 150, 155 pounds. So even though you've taken this fantastic journey and you've lost all this weight, shredded abs is a weight that most people are uncomfortable with. And that's what I meant by I don't walk around that lean all the time. And here's why. I look good in my t-shirts right now. At least I think I do. I feel confident. I have shape. I'm hitting PRs in the gym. I feel great. I have energy. I can go out and have drinks with my friends, and then I can still do my workouts and I have no suffering of energy. I feel like my hormones, my digestion, my personal relationships, all those things are in a wonderful place right now. When you get to that place, to get that lean, you have to start being very particular about meal timing. Why? Because your energy will go up and down based on when you eat, so you start to get very particular about that. that has an impact on all the things in your life. You don't really want to go out to eat with your friends as much. You don't want to have alcohol, because sometimes alcohol can have a negative impact on the way you look and feel for a day or two. And so it starts to have this compounding effect. And this is the type of attention that we pay when we're getting on a bodybuilding stage. If you're not getting on a bodybuilding stage, you don't have that same motivation. Why? Because you're not going to be getting on a stage under bright lights with judges judging you to try to beat other people. That type of motivation is what you need. It's what I need to go through those barriers, okay? I like to have a margarita on the weekends. I like to have a beer sometimes. I like to not track all the time. But when I'm in prep, I promise you, I am outworking every single person that is going to be getting on that stage. And that's why I can reach a physique that resembles something like this. And I can even maintain it for several months, but it becomes fatiguing. Not from the standpoint of like, I'm fatigued physically, but psychologically. And I think that's the one thing that people don't consider when they're dieting down. There's going to be a change in our psychology, okay? We're gonna be more focused on us, a little bit more narcissistic, even the best of us, even myself, even those that I know that really do a good job balancing of spending time with their kids and their family and their friends, you still get a little bit self-centered towards the end of this process. Why? Because you're very focused on it, and it's very difficult to maintain. So how can you get there? If this is your goal, keep going. You know, I would try to get down 5 pounds at a time. You said you're at what, 157, I forget the number. Go down 5 more pounds. See how you look and feel. Your macronutrient ratios look great. In fact, you said you're only walking 2 days a week. I would simply bump that up to 5 days a week, right? You've essentially just begin moving more. And if you can keep that up, keep your calories where they are, I think you're gonna still feel great, perform great in the gym, and keep losing. You look like you're basically what I would consider at the starting point for getting uncomfortably lean. You're at a place where you probably feel pretty dang good all the time. Obviously, you've lost all this weight. Once we get below our set point, and I think for men, it's somewhere in the 12 to 15% range, depending on, you know, your particular genetics and makeup. But once you start getting below your set point is when you start to notice hunger lingers a little bit longer. You start catching yourself walking into the pantry even though you didn't really want to get anything to eat. You just become a little bit more food focused. Fatigue sets in later in the day. You might notice that your energy levels kind of drop off after, you know, middle of the day. These are very common symptoms that I see for low body fat. They can be good symptoms if you're focused on getting leaner. I mean, how many of you guys out there have competed in a bodybuilding show and actually relish looking forward to the pain of low body fat, meaning you enjoy that. You know it's working when you're like, yeah, I'm really hungry. I know I'm getting leaner. You know, me personally, I'm kind of sick in the brain. When I feel I'm suffering a little bit, I know my fat cells are shrinking, right? That's just how I correlate it. So the real thing you got to decide is what value do you place on getting those lower abs in? Now, I want to touch a little bit on training because a lot of people will say abs are made in the kitchen, and certainly there is a component of nutrition that is involved. But if you're not training the lower abdominals, and I'll put some videos of, you know, the 2 exercises that I feel are the most important for developing a full core would be decline sit-ups, where you're literally laying on a decline bench and sitting up. You can even add resistance once you can do, you know, that. I usually suggest doing that twice a week, 3 sets of 10 to 20. And if you can get to 3 sets of 20 twice a week, put a 5-pound plate on your chest, put a 10-pound plate on your chest, likewise. Also, hanging leg raises, where you literally sit in the Roman chair, you put your elbows in it, your feet hang straight down, you swing those up. I should have some video here. Those really engage the full core. Make sure you're not using your upper thighs to build momentum. Try to engage that core. And then my final favorite would be using the cable pull down. So you grab the ropes on a cable machine and you crunch down on the abs. I do these from my knees. The reason I like those is because it doesn't put any pressure on my back. There's no pressure on the spine. Decline sit-ups, hanging leg raises, sometimes you feel a little bit in your back. These are like a resistance crunch basically. And heck, you can even do crunches on like a Swiss ball. You can do toe touches on the floor. Whatever you feel engages the core, but do something that promotes the hypertrophy of the core muscles. That, along with your cardio that you're doing, you know me, treadmill back there. I love my incline walking. I love my outside walking. Your nutrition is in a great spot. Just keep it going. Just keep unraveling those paper towels, my friend, until you see the abs. And then it's up to you to decide if that's something that you want to maintain. All right, man. Hope you guys are having a great Monday, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.